Live.
We're live. And we're
Yes,
recording.
we are live.
How are you, Karen?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you. How are you, Lee?
I'm fantastic as well.
So it's so wonderful, yeah, to be here.
Yeah, I am really kind of excited about this. This is our first episode of Abundance Tuning. We've been doing Think and Grow Rich, which people seem to enjoy, and we're getting bigger, more and more followers all the time. So maybe this will be something I think people like. And go ahead. I think you had you wanted to say something. I think, right? We'll sort this out. Don't worry.
We have a lot of cheers. We have a lot of information for all the people that join this call. It's really fun and it's exciting to share this information from your abundance tuning book, and you created a program out of this book, and it's just wonderful to see what happens in their life, and that's what we want to talk about. And so the introduction, I made the program with you. I read the abundance tuning book, and I was fascinating about what happened around me. And that's the reason why I'm so grateful to share this with as many people as possible, that everybody can reach this state of well-being and being happy. So, because that's what everybody wants in life. So, yeah, the introduction is, I just want to start with the one paragraph here in the introduction part of abundance tuning of the book. And imagine being able to have the life you genuinely want to live, being able to manifest whatever you want quickly, and having a life what feels amazing.
Yes.
So this one sentence is just amazing. Yes. So, but how did you come to this point that you wrote abundance tuning?
Well, it started from going a long time ago when I didn't like my life very much. It never seemed to be going in the right direction. And I guess it all kind of started when I was introduced to Bob Proctor and the law of attraction, and of course then The Secret, and it was that basically led me to realize that I can have the life I want. You can have an abundant life, but it doesn't just show up. You got to learn it. So basically what we've done here is tried to create a book, actually a program, which we do coaching with and things like that, to help people understand what has to happen on a personal level if you really want to attract abundance. It's not going to just show up. Like, you have to be in the right mindset to attract it. And it's not that difficult to do, but it does take a little bit of time to have a true understanding and awareness. So that's really what it was out of a need for me to want a better life. And I think it's working. I think it's working for you too. You have a new home there with a beautiful backyard that you really wanted. You got a big giant smile on your face, so something's working right.
Yes, I'm really on the right path. And that's interesting what you said, because there are so many books out there. You get so many informations about the law of attraction and the vibration and manifesting and money, career. But the most people struggle to bring it into their real life, to use it every day, and to be in this constant state of being.
Yes.
And that's what I know from myself, because I experienced the same. I struggled. I always did the same. I did the same. I read this book. I read this book. I have to take this course and this course. And then you come at the point where you are frustrated because you have no no manifestations.
Right.
You get no results. And I just want to read one sentence here from abundance tuning. You right. I believe that I should be able to manifest just as well as those with all that success if only I could learn their secret. But for some reason, I just couldn't connect the dots and figure out how to make it work for me. And that's exactly me, what I lived. That was my life. Same like you,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. That's the truth is, you were talking about how, you've read the books, you've taken the courses and things, and nothing really changed. Well, I did the same thing. Even when I first got involved with Bob Proctor, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it that well. I understood the words, and even people that I studied with, like they could repeat the words probably even better than me, but they still weren't manifesting the life they wanted. And you see that a lot. You see people all over, social media and things there. They can say the words, but it isn't about the words.
Yeah.
It goes so much deeper. So that's kind of what we're going to be helping them with along the line. So, and I've watched you do it. Like, I've known you for a little while now, and I joke about how you never stop smiling.
Yeah.
So,
But that's what happens
that's what happens, right?
when you are in the right vibration, yeah.
That's
And you,
right.
when
Yeah.
you know how to integrate all these informations in your life, in your daily life,
Yeah.
that it becomes a habit.
Right.
Yeah.
And you get to sit on that beautiful patio in your backyard and have coffee or drink a wonderful Austrian beer or something along those lines. And that's living a life of abundance,
Yeah.
joy, happiness. Right? So
Yeah. It's
that's
not only that. I think that's very important for the people to know. Abundance is not only money.
no.
Abundance is to be in alignment. Abundance is to feel happy, to be grateful, to wake up in the morning and tell yourself this story. Thank you. This is gonna be the best day of my life. And I'm grateful that I wake up. I'm grateful to have my feet and my arms and my fingers and my health and friends. So like you write it here in abundance tuning, money, career, opportunities, resources, time, new friends and connections are all possibilities.
Yeah.
Abundance tuning transforms your vibrational state so that the universe essentially finds you. That's
Right.
beautiful. That's so wonderful. And that's what we are going to talk about the vibration. How can you become the right vibration with your goals? How can you connect with the universe? Because if you are connected, you are in the state of feeling to be one with all. And that's when things begin to show up.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're talking briefly about it not being about money. Money is obviously an important part of all this, but you're going to find if you pursue all the joy, the happiness, and the love that's all in around with friends and family and things like that, the money is going to just show up because you're going to be in the right vibration to just keep receiving. And that's the thing I think that we're going to try to help people understand as we do this over the next I guess a couple of months, right? I think something like that.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just commenting on the fact that every time I see you, you have a big smile on your face. And I've known you for a long time. You always had a nice smile, but it wasn't as big of a smile and constant smile as it is today. So obviously,
Yeah.
whatever you're helping people understand is working. And I think that's what's important too. And it's same with me. Like I haven't had great things all my life. It hasn't been an easy thing, but from understanding this material and even working on this particular material made a major difference just for me. And
Yeah.
I know it has for others, and you've had people you've worked with that can say the same thing. It's exciting. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I see it all the time with my clients, and I see it also with my family. Yeah, I have 3 kids, and I have to tell everybody here, my kids are amazing. They grew up with this stuff, with all the information. They grew up with the right habits, and I think they have a nice paradigm. because they manifest like this, like this, like this. And this is, you have to learn to speak the language of the universe.
Yeah.
And if you understand it, and I have to repeat it, I repeated it so often, there's a big difference between knowing and understanding.
Yes.
And if you are in this state of understanding, if you understand what happens, it goes easily, with fun and with ease.
And that's something too, when you're talking about understanding, knowing, the difference between knowing and understanding is knowing is you can read the book and repeat the words in the book. That's knowing what it says.
Yeah.
But understanding is when you get deep into it and start to realize that you are basically the cause, which is something we're going to be talking about next. But that's a big part of all of this. And, again, like I've done it, and I know you've done it. And it's pretty exciting when you get there. When you get to that level of understanding and awareness, that's where the change happens. That's where, again, you can't just keep reading it. Will it sink in? Yeah, maybe eventually, but until you sit back and actually think about what it's going to say, what it says. Like I always remember, seeing Bob Proctor with his old version of Think and Grow Rich. Like that thing has been through hell and back. Like it's falling apart. Every page has notes on it, little tags here and there. Like it's a well-worn book. And I can remember when he was alive, like you could ask him any question from that book and he'd tell you exactly where it is in the book and tell you exactly what it says. And then on top of that, tell you what it means.
Yeah.
Not just what it says.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're talking about when you talk about understanding. And again, like, that's where even like yourself, you're a great mentor. And if people want to get involved with you to help them understand this material, well, you're perfect at it. I should know because I also work with you. And,
thank you.
and I would obviously I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true, right? We wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be on this call, doing this call and trying to share this information with people if I didn't think it was true, right? So anyways, that's a little plug for Cara in there if you're looking for a mentor on this type of material. She's perfect.
Yeah, and that's fun. That's fun when you see how the people grow. That's exactly what we wanna do on Elevate, that everybody grows, that everybody comes to the next level of understanding, to open up the consciousness. And yeah, the language of the universe is if you understand it, so everything goes easy, and everything is we communicating with the universe all the time, every second of the day. And that's also what the people have to know. This is not a program you do maybe 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour a day. You are communicating, and we are communicating with the universe all the day, every second.
That's an important thing to understand too, because every vibration, every thought that you have is causing a reaction. And the most problem is people keep focusing on what the problems are of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they wonder why they don't go away. And again, we're going to get into that in our very first chapter, but that's kind of what people need to understand is anything and everything in your life, you caused it, right?
Yeah, for me it was very interesting to understand that every thought creates a feeling, and this feeling is a certain vibration. So once I heard, I was many years ago, a man said, you don't get what you think, you get what you are. Mm-hmm. And you become what you are right now. Yeah. And that means how you are vibrating right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what comes back. That's what the universe reflects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's people get caught up in watching media and watching things and it's always constantly telling us what's wrong.
Yeah.
And if you spend your day only focusing on what's wrong, well, it's never going to get right. It's always going to be wrong. And that's the thing that, I think that by the time we get, through this entire program with people, I think they're going to understand that. Because I'm pretty sure that the answers are in this book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because again, I can say things like that because, I've just been studying a lot of stuff for a good 30 something years. I do give a lot of credit to Bob Proctor because although I read books and things before that, before being introduced to Bob, I never really truly understood it until I started, studying with Bob Proctor. And but again, like everything in here is what I've learned over those years. And then I just, I put it together into what makes, I believe, a lot of sense. And I've seen, again, I've already mentioned you, like I've seen, you were already in a really good place when I met you. You do some wonderful things with horses and that, which I'm still trying to figure out because I don't really 100% understand it. I think it's fascinating. That's, but I understand how animals do. Again, like that's a good example that the animals are responding to your vibration.
Right.
So, if the animals can feel it, what do you think is going on with the universe? Right. So anyways, you were in a pretty good place when I saw you there. And then I think all that's happened over the time is you just got a little bit stronger understanding. That's it.
Yeah.
And you're manifesting the life that you want. Like we already said, you have a nice new home now with a beautiful backyard that you can sit and have your coffee and whatever else you like to drink and throughout the day or in the evening.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
Again, it's what you're talking about, being understanding. That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, the understanding is the key, right? And that's what everybody can get in this book and in this program from Abundance Tuning. It makes such a big shift. And what you said, when people always look at what is, so this is the reflection from the universe, what they thought in the past. So why do people always look around what is right now if the thoughts and the feelings are from the past? So they are creating over and over and over again always the same results. Right. And that's what I can say. That's what I did. I did all the courses. I made all the tools. And then I sat there and thought, why doesn't this happen? When is the time? When does something change? When comes the manifestation? Why doesn't it work? So because exactly because of that.
Or what was in the past, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing that we want people to understand is that you were manifesting exactly what you're thinking about.
Right.
It wasn't working. It wasn't giving you the results you hoped for, but it was working because it always works. It never stops.
Yeah.
You always manifest whatever vibration you're in. I always like, when people say prayer is not the words that you say, it's the vibration you're in. I get a lot of people like, I actually studied Christianity and things for a while because I was looking for answers in my life and found a lot of answers there. I think there's a lot of fantastic things there. But, when you pray, you got to be careful what the vibration is because this universe or God, whatever you want to call it, is responding to the vibration, how you feel. Not the words you're saying. And that's the problem is, people will be focusing on, oh, I need to pay my bills. Well, you're making it much harder to pay your bills when you get into the vibration that, I easily pay my bills. Then opportunities are going to be put in front of you that allow you to earn the money so you never have to worry about paying your bills.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do. Because again, like we live in a society that teaches you pretty much how to think incorrectly. Again, like the media that you watch the news, like I don't recommend anybody watching it because there's nothing good. There's no positive news. Like good news doesn't sell. So they don't put it on there. Right? Occasionally you get a little tiny, message somewhere along the lines that sounds positive. Like, I see every once in a while, you'll see on a newscast where they do a little story on a dog that was found or something like that, which is nice, right? But then they go right into, there's all this crazy stuff going on in the streets and things like that. And so again, like good news doesn't sell. So stop watching it. That would be a good start, I think. But yeah, so do we want to now get right into chapter 1 on reality, or do you have something else
Yeah,
you want to finish up?
let's jump into the first chapter, reality. Yeah, so reality.
This was actually my, when I put this together, this was actually my kind of my favorite chapter. And the reason why is because I needed to learn this. Like, this was I think the best lesson that I learned. And I'll let you take it away. You've learned it too, so we'll let you start. How's that?
Absolutely. But I have to tell it again. I learned it the most effective way to understand it through you and through abundance tuning. I listen to the audio every single day. I still do it when I take a walk with the dog. I take my iPods, my ear phones, and put it in, and I listen to it, and it changes something in the brain, in the subconscious mind. And this is interesting. Yeah, if you start to understand that you cause everything in your reality. But what is reality? And this one question held me busy for many weeks. Yeah. Because what is reality? How you see the world right now.
Yeah.
So how does it come that, how can that be that some people live a prosperous life, a happy life, they have a wonderful marriage, they have a beautiful home, and they have money and a nice body, and some people, they have no money. Some people live in poor areas and districts, and they are alone and they are always sad, and some people are always happy and always in alignment and always feel this well-being. So this is how everybody sees the reality.
Yeah.
This is
Everybody's reality is somewhat different, right? Everyone's reality is different.
Absolutely. Yeah, because everybody has his own lens. How you call it here in abundance tuning, the lens, how you see life. You look through this lens, and this is how the world has to be. But it's important to know that you didn't choose the lens you see the world like this.
Yeah. Very true.
And I don't know how it was with your family and the people you grew up, but I can tell from myself, I now understand the people I grew up with, they always wanted the best for me. They couldn't give me more because it was her perspective. It was their lens, their view of life.
That's right. Yeah. You inherit someone else's reality.
Yeah.
And it becomes your reality. So that's what, some of the things we want to try to change. And, the key to understand is you are causing it. It doesn't mean it's your fault. It doesn't mean that you're to be blamed. But if there's things in your life that you're not happy with, again, not to blame, not to find fault, but you are causing it. And that's the part that I think people have a really hard time understanding. And until you start to understand that you're causing it and take responsibility for it, then, well, not a lot of it's going to change. And again, like you were talking about with the lens, well, that's someone else's lens that you're looking through. But, we go on farther and give an analogy with the old school movie projector and things like that. But, you're the director of the film. You can change the film.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's what we want to try to help people understand. You've done
Absolutely. Yeah. And the people we grew up with, they always wanted to be the best for us, but they had only this information. And reality is consciousness. Reality is this what you see right now. And if you are open-minded, you let more information in. So it's clear, and it has to be that the consciousness changes if you let new informations in.
Yeah.
If you are in this state of consciousness where you say, okay, I know everything, I understand everything what's important for me, then you close your mind, then you let no more further information in, and then you are always, you stay on this level where you are right now. And that's what we want to change with abundance tuning, because if you open up your mind and you get different perspectives and different lenses, then you can see the world different. And we know it's possible for everybody. Everybody can change his or her life.
Yeah.
It's possible for all of us.
Right. It can change your reality. Right? And
absolutely.
You change the reality by changing that film. And, you know, we're talking about a film. We'll get more into it as we go farther in, but we're really talking about your subconscious programming. Like, you've been conditioned to see the reality that you have.
Yeah.
That's I think, again, you know, put in here, you know, reality is infinite consciousness and reality is infinite imagination. So the imagination part is something to understand too, is you can imagine the world you want to live in. You can imagine anything that you want. You know, you imagine having a new home and you've got one, right? You've got, I know some of the other things that you would like, but we won't get into that. You'll be able to share them when you've actually did it, which is probably going to happen very, very soon. You know, like even, you know, imagining having 3 beautiful children, like you could have had a whole different view on all that.
Yeah.
And that, because again, you can have people that, you know, have problems with their children. Well, they are having problems because maybe you had problems when you were a child. You know, and you can't, you know, unless you're willing to make the change, unless you're willing to open up and receive, like you're talking about, then you're never going to learn how to change your reality where, you know, you have wonderful, beautiful kids. Like, you know, we know Eric, we talked to Eric, you might even be watching. I think if you're there, Eric, hi. I don't have the chat on, so if you are there, I don't know you're there. Sorry. But, you know, he's got 2 beautiful children, and he's done an incredible job. You know, if you know Eric, he's a fantastic guy, and you can see it in his children, and I can see it in your children. Like I met one personally, and she's fantastic. You know, she's a wonderful young lady, and she's got a beautiful, bright future ahead of her. You can see it. Like, again, you know, where I've been talking about your smile. She gives you a lot of competition on the smile side of things, because when she I've seen it, it's like
she does.
You know, so she just lights right up, like it's
yeah.
See, that's a happy kid.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm a fairly happy person today. I don't think I'm 100%. I don't think I'm as happy as you. I'm working on it. Maybe hanging around with you tomorrow, they help me do that. But like, you know,
I can coach you, Lise, no problem.
Okay,
we can do it.
Share your email address with me afterwards. Will that work? Like, even, you know, I just mentioned Eric again. If he's there, hi Eric. But you can see it the same in his kids.
Yeah.
Like, they're happy kids, right? And yeah, I'm going to say I'm probably 99% to the point where I'm consider myself a happy person. There's always work to be done, right? But I didn't grow up a happy kid. I had to learn it. And I know that I don't have children, but I know if I had children, they'd be happy kids. And that comes from the understanding and awareness of, you know, a lot of what we're talking about. Like, it's all about energy. It's all about vibration. Like, you know, those happy kids are going to manifest anything and everything they ever want in their life. There's never going to be enough doubt to stop them from it. You know, is there going to be some times where things are uncomfortable because they're maybe, you know, moving in a direction they've never moved? Sure. But they're going to move. They're going to go in that direction because they know that they have the backing and love and things of this universe, and of course their family, their parents. And that's such a big important thing. So anybody that's out there with kids, make sure that you make your kids feel as though they're loved and cared for, because that's the best thing you can do. It has nothing to do with money. You don't have to buy them the fanciest cars or anything like that.
No.
All you need to do is give them a hug and let them know they're appreciated. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
And it changes everyone's vibration. Right. So we were talking about changing that that lens, right? That's
Yeah, and it's always how you see the world. And if you see something you don't like, change the lens and look at this one situation or with this one part of your life through a different lens. You can change it anytime you want. And this I want to bring this out to the world because everybody deserves to be happy. And what you when we're talking about the kids, uh, this is wonderful. If they come and they are happy, if I see them every day and they are happy, and my kids also make experiences, always sometimes I have to breathe very deeply. Yeah, but they know I am back. I hold the bag. Yeah, and I'm here if they need me. And but the confidence and the love for life and the love of life and the love of themselves is just wonderful, because this is what they spread out and this is what comes back. And that's what I see almost every day. So when my big daughter, she made a trip through the USA, through California, and she went to many different other countries too, and states, and she made this trip for 6 weeks. And I said, okay, go out in the world. But she called me almost every day, but how can I do that? And what do you mean? Do you think that's okay? And I said, always, okay, how do you feel? With these principles, you can really make the kids strong, not give them everything they want, cars or whatever, on material things. But I told my kids every day, I love you. I believe in you. You can do anything you want. You are worthy. You are enough. And that's what all the people holds back. The subconscious programming, how they see the world. No, I can't do that. I want to have really, really much money. No, the others can be rich. I don't deserve it. I'm not good for this. Yeah. This is what comes up from the subconscious mind, and what's programmed in the subconscious mind. This is the lens all the people gave you when you were a child.
Yep.
And the main programming happens in the first 5 years of life.
Yes. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's,
And
yeah,
what you're doing is you're giving your children a better lens to work with, to start with, and also encourage them that they can still change their own lens.
yeah,
And then it's from, you've mentioned the idea of the understanding. It's the understanding of this is the only way you're going to help anyone else is you got to start with you. And
mhm,
you can't have happy relationships in your life unless you're a happy person. You're not going to have a lot of friends unless you're friendly.
yeah,
You have to be that person first. So you have to change your lens. And then from that, if you have that blessing of being a parent, then you have the opportunity to, start those kids off with a really nice lens where they
yeah,
see the world for what it really is, opportunities. And
yeah,
yes, a lot of people want to keep talking about money, and that's because we're conditioned to only be focusing on money. When the reality is if you're focused on being happy, well, the money will just show up. Right?
that's
Because
true.
you're going to be doing things and acting in ways and meeting people that are going to show you opportunities because they want you around because you're in such a great vibration. So therefore, again, that's the same thing when we're talking about you're causing everything in your life. Well, if you're in the right vibration, you're going to cause great things. If you don't have good things going on in your life, well, it's because you're causing it. Again, that's not about fault. It's not your fault. Although I think if you watch this, it kind of becomes your fault. Right? Because if you don't do anything about it, well, now it's your fault. Like before that, it's not your fault and you're not to be blamed. But now do you have a little bit of an understanding that you're causing it? Well, you can't really complain anymore unless you're willing to do the work. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that was something I had to be, I had to wake up to myself was I don't like what's going on. Well, I have to take responsibility for it. No one's going to change it. You're not going to win the lottery and end up your life is perfect, because all the same problems are still there. You might just have some money for a while because you got one money, or you can end up. One of the things I think is important too, and we'll get a lot more into this as we go on, but you could be working somewhere and someone that gives you a promotion. But if your reality is that you don't deserve it, even though you take the job, chances are you're not going to last. You're either going to get demoted, or you're going to get fired, or you're going to decide to quit to go somewhere else that fits your reality. Right. And that's the same thing. Like, it's, anything and everything in your life is because of the way you've been thinking emotionally, not consciously. You can think one thing consciously and the second thing think more vibrationally, which is going to cause that effect, the results. Right?
Yeah, and this is perfect what you just said. I want to talk about this, how many people respond to the reality.
Yeah.
Because what happens if something, you experience something in your reality, in your life, most people blame another person. So many people feel like they are a victim.
Right.
But they are not. And that's also a big step to a higher understanding, to a higher level of consciousness. Because if everybody would understand that everybody causes his reality, nobody would be feeling like a victim anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I cause this circumstance, I can't blame you.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I caused it. Yeah. What would happen if everybody would think that way? Well, the world would be a much better,
Be a much better place.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when we talk about abundance too, it's important to understand it doesn't run out.
Yeah.
The old idea that there's only so much to go around is not true. All you have to do is look at history. Anytime we need something, it shows up somehow. Always.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why, I mentioned the media, don't watch them, because all they want to do is, basically tell you the world's coming to an end and it's some other person's fault. When the reality is we can fix and create anything we want. We can create whatever reality is. We can do it on an individual basis, or we can do it collectively. What do we really want? And that's the key, because a lot of what we've been talking about is, when people focus on the things they want, this is when all that subconscious programming comes up, and then the doubt, the fear, the stress, the anxiety, all these things start to kick in, and it causes you to run the opposite direction out of fear. Well, that fear is someone else's lens.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can change that lens. But you have to take responsibility for it. And like I already said, if somebody's watching this, well, now it's your fault.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand. Right. So, but I don't want to make it sound like it's really that easy where you just snap your finger and go, because it won't. But can it go pretty quickly? Yes. Depends on how much you're willing to sit down and really think about it. And that's where, again, like, I mentioned, somebody could be working with you as a mentor, and that helps. There's a lot of power in having a mentor in your life. It doesn't have to be us. It could be anybody that understands this type of material. And there's lots of people out there that really do understand it. Although there's more people that say they do that I don't think do, because I know some of them. Like but the key is you can make the change, but you
absolutely
have to be the one that does it, though.
Yeah.
No one's going to do it for you. There's people that are willing to advise. Like we're doing it right now. We're if someone's listening to this or watching us right now, and we're saying something that hits home, then act on it. Do something about it. That's you taking responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's a law of cause and effect.
Yes,
the effect is your reality, but you're the cause. So that's the cause. The law of cause and effect. You're causing it.
things can manifest really quickly. So when I look back and I think about this new home, it took me about 3 months, and I did it.
You did it. Yeah. In 3 months, if you think about it, that's not really a long time. That's actually
That's
pretty
not
fast.
really a long time. No.
Yeah.
But the biggest challenge, what most of the people have, is they don't really know what they want.
That's true.
So what happens? Mostly the people take the reality, they see what they see, and they look at it every day and every day, but they don't see in their mind, they can't imagine how their life could be.
Right.
And you can create every picture in your mind, and when you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands.
Exactly. Yep.
And you have to be clear on this picture.
That's right.
Also, when I say, okay, this is the next step, I know for sure, maybe this is not the last home I'm moving to, but this is the next step.
That's right.
And I know the big picture. I see it in my mind. So this home where I moved now, this was the next logical step for the universe.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get everything at once. We couldn't stand it.
Wouldn't be able to handle it.
No, when this,
You know, the
if
thing along that
everything
lines
comes
too is,
down at all.
the universe is going to show you the path. It's up to us to take that path. Now, sometimes
Yeah.
that path means you have to learn something to take you to the next part. So even like what you're saying is that the last house? No, but it's the
No.
next house on this path, which is going to lead
Right.
you to the house that you really truly want. Like you had to move to this house to get you in line to get the next house. And whatever
Exactly.
else. And
Yeah.
that's you again, you know, you use your imagination to create the reality you want. Is everything
Yeah.
in your world right now exactly the way you want it? No, but you're definitely going in the right direction. You're getting
Yes.
closer and closer and closer. And I would imagine another year or so from now, we'll be looking back, maybe doing the same kind of a call as we're doing right now, and talking about how your reality is completely changed. And so is mine. And
Yeah.
anybody who's following us, because you can cause whatever you want in your life, but you are the cause. And that's the thing that's important to understand. Like I'm watching you, what you're doing. I think it's exciting. You know, I love watching people actually move towards whatever it is they want. It doesn't matter what you want. You know, as long as you're not hurting anybody else or yourself, then who cares?
Who
Whatever
cares?
you want,
Right.
right? The reality is you're moving towards, you know, a higher you, a higher sense of you. And with that, anything and everything you want is going to show up.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take advantage of what shows up when you're ready to receive it. And that's the key, is that's, you know, like again, moving to this house is making you ready for what's next. You know, we've had
Exactly.
conversations about people. I mentioned the idea of winning a lottery. You know, I know a story of a person who won a lot of money. 2 years later, they're completely broke.
Yeah.
They weren't ready for the money. You know, they
Mhm.
managed to get the money somehow, got obviously in the right vibration to attract it, but they are not conditioned to keep it.
Yeah.
Their reality is that they're broke.
Mhm.
So even though you give a person with a lot of money, or a person that's broke with a lot of money, they're going to end up broke unless they change how they see the world and see reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to change the lens. Yeah. And the lens is absolutely the subconscious mind, and this is the key. And what's important and interesting too is, most people I talk to, they say, okay, I want to have a lot of money. I want to have €1,000,000. I want to have $10 million. And then I'm going to be happy. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do that.
Right.
They wait for the money to show up, that they can experience and that they can have fun and joy.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
Right.
Because the fun is on the way. And if you have
Yeah.
fun on the way, everything manifests so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what the
when you're
people have
saying
to
the fun,
understand.
half the fun is sometimes, you know, you're going to run into roadblocks, and when you really have an understanding what's going on, it is really just a learning experience. That's all that roadblock is. And then it's easy for you to find a solution around it. Because you're focusing on where you're going. You're focusing on that brand new reality that you're trying to create.
Yeah.
And that's what gets you going. So a lot of it has to do with faith, is understanding that, it's already yours.
Yeah.
You were saying that quote of, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
If you look at everything that we've done as a species, like throughout history, look at what we've actually created out of nothing. Like even, people using cell phones. Go back 100 years and tell them that we were doing that, and they think you're insane. But somebody's had it in their mind. And they created a brand new rally, not only for themselves, but for everybody in the world. We can now communicate. Like right now, we're on Zoom. You're in Austria and I'm in Canada. Like, tell somebody that 100 years ago that we'd be doing that. And they think you're insane. The only way, in the past, the only way, if you go back that far, the only way in the past that if we could ever actually have had any conversation is one of us would have to get on a ship and cross the ocean.
Yes.
Right. But now we can get on a phone or even on Zoom right now, and we're talking to people that, we don't know who's actually listening to us, but we're actually potentially talking to people that we're sharing information with all over the world.
All over the world. Yeah. So and that's wonderful.
Right. That was somebody's reality there. And, that's something their imagination allowed them, and they saw it in the world, and it's changing everything. Like, I was talking to somebody not too long ago, like, we've done more in the last 100 years than we have in our entire existence. Like every time you turn around, there's something brand new.
Yeah.
Like, just to take, like, if you go back into, like go back a few hundred years, even a few thousand years, everything took hundreds of years to change. Now, every day you turn around, there's a new update on this and update on that, and it's changing everything. Like it's, I was just on Facebook and I keep changing everything around. Like, okay, where was this again? Where's that again? Like they keep changing it because they believe they're making it better. And I'm assuming that they are. But as they're making those changes, guess what? It makes us uncomfortable. And we get mad. But then once we sit back and actually start to look at it and start to understand it, we start to think, okay, well, maybe this is actually better. But it doesn't seem better in the beginning. And that's that roadblock, right? I always like
that's true.
I always like that analogy too of like the GPS in a car or even on your phone. Like you put the destination in, you don't have to know how to get there.
Yeah.
You just have to put the address in, and it's going to show you the path. And what do you have to do? You just have to get in your car, start the engine, put it in drive, and put your foot on the gas, and just go. And when it says, hey, turn left here, well, then turn left. And even if you don't turn left and you go straight, somewhere along the line, it's going to tell you to turn around and go back.
Yeah.
Or it's going to say, hey, go to the next street and turn left there.
Yeah.
Because it will correct. And that's exactly what we're trying to help people understand is when we're tuning into abundance, the destination is up to you. Your reality is completely 100% up to you. It's your responsibility. And if you decide to get in that car and decide to drive and it says turn left and you ignore it, and then you drive down, it says turn left again, you ignore it and you turn right, well, it's your responsibility. You
then you never come to the goal.
That's right. And you're causing it, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're the cause.
Yeah.
Right. But if you start to have faith and understand what's actually happening, get really in tune with, the thinking that's necessary to get you to where you want to go. And again, it's all about just believing and having faith. But you also, like you've already mentioned it, is you have to have a picture of where you're going. The same thing with the GPS in your car, you have to have an address. Well, the address is the picture of the life, the reality that you want. And then get in the car and drive.
Yeah.
You know how to get there.
Many people hang up on the how. Most people want to know before they start, and how can I get this? And how is this gonna show up? And how can I get this money? And how can I make my business? And the how is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is just to make a clear picture in your mind.
Okay.
And this is yeah, you have to create your picture, and this picture can have anything and everything everybody desires.
Right. Our only requirement once you have that clear picture is start.
Start. Right.
Just start moving in it. Have faith that you're
Yeah.
going to get there. You don't need to know how
Yep.
you're going to get there. Just have faith that you are going to get there, because you will if you keep going.
Hmm.
And you got to start. Same thing with when I mentioned the GPS in the car. You're going
Yeah.
nowhere if you don't start the car and put it in drive.
Yeah,
You don't,
exactly.
if you don't put your foot on the gas, you're going nowhere. Right?
Yeah.
You could get to the end of your street and turn the wrong direction. That's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but you're going to learn that that was the wrong direction, and you're either going to turn around or you're going to be shown a different way to get there.
Hmm.
That's the key.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so many people, they don't trust in their self to have the big dreams and to follow the big dreams. And the only thing that's holding most of the people back is, yeah, false beliefs. False beliefs like I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not smart enough, simply not enough. And this is absolutely a belief that can activate your brake in the car. And that's so interesting with the abundance tuning. And what I do also with my clients is to find out what beliefs these are. What beliefs does anybody have? What do you think about yourself? What's holding you back? And then make a shift, change the perspective and the perception of that, and you will see the brake is not so strong as you thought at the beginning when you started the car.
Sure. Yep. Yep.
I imagined when we talked about making these videos, and I said, no, 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 Lee, no. I don't make the videos. No, 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 no. I can go out in the world. No, 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 no. And everybody can see me. And so, and now we are making Think and Grow Rich, and now we are making abundance tuning. And I have a lot of videos on my Facebook group and site, and I
Yep.
love it. And this is what happens when you take the blocks off of the brake.
Yep, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And you're doing it. You're a very good example of it. It's fact. You're doing it.
Yeah.
It's proof. It's not like you're just saying it. You're living it. Yeah, and that's really, it's exciting. Even for me, like, because I've known you for a while now, but I haven't known you that long. Like, a little, maybe over a year. And like I said earlier, you're in a pretty good place, I think, when I met you. But you're definitely in a better place today. And I think, again, really what it boils down to is the understanding, because I think you knew this material before, but you understand it better now. And that's the key. And the same thing with me is I read a lot of books and I knew the material. It was Bob Proctor, being close by. I had opportunities to be in the same room and listen to him talk and things like that, that I started to understand. And then I started actually, one of the greatest things I think I did was I would go to these, basically there were seminars for people that were consultants of Bob's. And so there'd be, I don't know how many people, maybe 300 people in the room, that kind of thing. And I'd heard him talk so many times, I pretty much almost knew what he was going to say next. And I started finding myself not listening to what he was saying, but I was watching him on how he was trying to get us to understand it. That's what made the change to me. It didn't matter what the book said. All that matters is how you understand it, how you see things. That's what we're talking about here is reality. We all have the ability to change our realities. And, I was talking about, how we need to have faith. Now, when I say faith, I'm not talking religions. If you got a wonderful religion that you love and it's guiding you in whatever direction you want, then stay doing that. Okay?
Yeah.
And you're going to find, like in the book, I go back and forth. I sometimes refer to it as the divine, the universe, God. I don't care what you call it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
matters is that you understand it exists.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not talking about a religious God. I'm talking about it's almost like you don't know what it is. It's like, it's everything. It's in everything. It's an energy,
Yeah.
and it's here to guide us, but only if we want it to.
Yeah.
We were, again, from a more of a biblical side of things, we were given free will. Well, that
Mhm.
goes back into what we're talking about here. You cause your reality.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it
And
real?
this power is so strong, and it works always,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it works with everybody on this planet.
Yeah.
And this energy, yeah, is just a connection to this power,
Right.
however you call it, universe, God, or Buddha, or whatever.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, source, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It definitely doesn't matter. When we're talking about abundance tuning, there is no shortage of anything.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to tune into it. How do you tune into it? By changing how you see the world through the vibration that you're in.
Absolutely.
Like you get, like even, you get people that you can actually use this same philosophy for, bad things. And it may work for a while, but eventually the bad things are going to come back to you. So, you see people where they attract things to themselves, maybe illegally, but it's going to come back on them because of the vibration they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is,
absolutely.
it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter to this universe. I think there's a guiding light that kind of leads us to a certain direction.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to hang around in the other direction, then it's your choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's your responsibility to change it.
Yeah, and that's so important, because everybody who wants to jump on abundance tuning, everybody who wants to make a change, a big change in their life, has to bring up the willpower.
Sure.
The people have to want to make a change. And if you make this decision and you have the faith that it works and that you can do it, so everybody can have it. Everybody can have it all. So I just want to read shortly here this one sentence. We are here for fun, find joy, seek expansion, and create a life of love and abundance.
Absolutely.
And this is so beautiful. We are here for joy. We are not here on earth for struggling, for efforting, for being sad and filled up with anxiety and worry and doubt. That's not the purpose.
That's not our purpose, no.
No.
The sad part is the majority of the population lives that way.
Absolutely. Take stress. If you take this one part, stress, how many people go stressful through life?
Mm-hmm.
Almost everybody.
Yeah. And it's, if everybody's in that same kind of mindset, then it can be difficult to get away. That's why it's important to get involved with people that, talk like this. Like, we have great conversations, and at the Elevate Network, we've got even a new the Elevate roundtable that's coming up, where people can actually come on these calls. And I don't know how many people we can get on Zoom all at once. I've never done it that way, but it doesn't matter. And the idea is we're going to talk about anything and everything you can imagine. We're going to talk about it, as long as it's all about improving people's lives, right? So
maybe we can clear up some vibration also at this round table. We can talk about the blocks that activates your brake. And I'm sorry. Fire department is on the way. I'm sorry, I'm in nature.
And you didn't create a fire. You didn't create a fire in your reality, so they drove right past.
Yeah, they passed, right? I don't create it. No. So, but that's so important to have the right people around you, to have really groups and people where you can talk about your goals and rise your vibration and talk about what you want. Yeah, we don't talk about the stuff we don't want. We only talk about what we want, what do we want to create, and what do we want to experience. And I can tell it from my perspective, this elevates my life totally.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole purpose of what we're doing with all this, is we're trying
Yeah.
to elevate the world and
Yes.
create something brand new. It's not really, I'm not aware of it being done before. You know,
Yeah.
and here we are doing live shows on Facebook, and those shows get put back up on the Elevate Network for anybody who wants to go back and watch them. And then mentioned, the Elevate, the roundtable that's starting, actually, I think we've got it set for starting next week, where anybody can come and join. And something along the lines of where I think, again, not only can we help elevate people's vibration and help them move towards the reality that they want in life, but we can help manifest ideas for them. Like we can help, even, mastermind ideas for them.
Yeah.
People come on and say, I'm looking to do this, I'm looking to do that. And then maybe there's some people that have an idea. Hey, what if you did this? Or what if you did that? So that's kind of what we want to try to do. It's not going to be, several hours. It'd be more likely an hour type thing, but stay tuned, and we'll have a way to help people learn how to join that if they choose to. But I know that the group that we already have that always shows up is going to be great just by itself. So hopefully people want to come and join us, but I'm looking forward to doing it no matter what. And just like this, I love doing these kind of things. And our Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing Think and Grow Rich. So anybody who might be watching now might want to come and take a look at that as well, because that's an incredible book, which has influenced my life and many people around the world, including Bob Proctor, which I already mentioned. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting. And I know we're at the end of the hour here, so it's probably time to say goodbye. But I think that, I'd like to see more and more people get involved with what we're doing, because, the more and more people that talk this way and think this way, the better the world ends up.
Yeah.
Because I think we all want the same things. We all want that peace and love and joy in our lives. We all want to be happy. We all want to be, prosperous. And again, it's not about money, but the money will come. Because money is a figment of our imagination. What is it? It's not real. Like when somebody hands you a US dollar or a euro, it's just a piece of paper with ink on it. Now, we've decided that in our reality, that this means something, it's a value. It works, but think about it. We could maybe get to a point where we don't need any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could, will it happen in our lifetime? It could, but I'm not going to count on it. But it could, to the point where the entire universe or the world that we live in, maybe there is no actual money. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe there's no governments. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have people?
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Wouldn't it be nice to be live in a reality where you don't have somebody that's telling you how you're supposed to live your life? That you're just living your life? Wouldn't that be nice? I think we can get there. So anyways, those who are joining us, that's great. And we got any final words? We need to say goodbye. And any final words there, Karen, that you want to say? Or
yeah, I say thank you to everybody who comes on Abundance Tuning. It's really fun for me, and it makes me happy. And I am grateful for this community to level up so many lives and to elevate every single person, and so the world. It's a big step for the world, but the biggest step for every single person. And I'm just happy and grateful to see you all next week on Tuesday again.
Likewise, I'm excited to see you next week again. And if anybody wants like a download version of the book, Abundance Tuning, just we can let either one of us know, and we can probably provide you with a PDF version of it if you would like to have it. So, Karen, always a pleasure having a conversation with you. And again, anybody who might be joining us out there, thanks again, and we'll see you again very, very soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay, we're out, I believe. I hope so.